Hello Reformers and welcome back to Warsword Conquest, and Percy is here, and he is once again at Gorespite because we're going to be helping out these high elves. Yes, we certainly are once again in this siege. Now I know that we've done this before, but it is something that I would like to potentially survive for once, maybe, you know. It's going to be one of those times when yes, let's not replicate the exact same thing that happened last time where I go on the left side of the people, and maybe that would then in turn result in my demise. So let's hope that I'm actually able to survive here this time around. Of course, here's the thing. There is a current bug in the version that I'm playing right now where Lords will use Soul Quench, but it won't actually do anything. So you don't really need to worry about that if you're seeing that in your game as well. It is not actually a thing. It's just a, you know, just a spell that they're attempting to use, but is actually not working. So I think it's not working at the very least. I hope it's not working. Oh, 27 damage. Oh no. Okay. Well, I took a lot of damage. I don't have a healing potion. Do I not have a healing potion? Shall I try taking it? No, I do not have a healing potion. Okay, so it seems like they do get consumed from combat, and it's a bit weird because I used one of the healing potions twice. And the other one, I only used once. So that's a bit weird, isn't it? I have no idea why that would be the case, but oh well, never mind. Anyway, people here, there's only about 67, and, well, obviously the High Elves have a huge army in reserve, and so we are going to try our very best to get through here, and wow, there's a Minotaur and everything. Oh, look at that, Anton, very good, Anton. You're leveling up very nicely indeed, and we have a bunch of Minotaurs here, and War Gores, and all kinds of crazily powerful units. Okay, so come on, let me get through. Percy would like to do a little bit of damage, please. He's just itching for a little bit of a fight. There we go. Oh, Liss. Oh my, wow, that is crazy. Look at that. Liss is one of our new companions, by the way, and they leveled up to level 5 in one kill. That is crazy. Yeah, so getting the kills from a Minotaur, for example, obviously it's a pretty large unit and it is going to give you a huge amount of experience, so I'm very pleased to see that, because usually it takes companions quite a long time, especially when they're very low level, to actually get a kill, because obviously they don't have the best combat skills and everything. And Percy should know. He knows exactly the hardship that everyone else is facing, especially when they're low level, you know. He's one of those people that is just extremely bad at what he does until he gets a bit lucky and then is able to, you know, get a kill here and there. Ah, it's actually a lizard man. Oh, okay. I actually thought this was a dark elf for some reason, but okay, never mind. Okay, so Liss is absolutely great, in my opinion. So I'm actually unsure what we should do here. I don't really want to level. It's actually an engineer. Well, that's kind of interesting. I did not really want to build another intelligence-based character, but I was thinking to myself, hey, you know what? Maybe what we should do is make Liss into a tracker, spotter, engineer. I wonder whether that's actually viable. I mean, who else has engineering? That's the main thing. Should we just take a quick look at that? I don't think anyone else has engineering, because I was actually thinking of making someone else the engineer. Maybe Katya is... No, Katya does not have engineering either, and it might make sense to make her the engineer. It seems like Katashi actually does have a little bit in wound treatment, and he seems to have looting, so it might actually make sense to make Katashi our agility-based companion, because he already has 1 point in it, and it might make sense to do that. I mean, what else do we have here? I mean, obviously we have Finn, who's our trader. We have Gulax, who's a new character, so he's got Power Throw, Power Strike, Constitution. Oh yeah, he did just level up. I gave him 1 point in Constitution, because I thought to myself, oh yeah, we definitely want these companions to do damage, and so we want them to make sure that they are as healthy as possible. So getting that point in Constitution, obviously going to make a bit of a difference. Anyway, I guess I'm just going to level up to 9 intelligence then. And even though we're not really going to be doing a siege anytime soon, the additional spotting skill however, is going to make a pretty big difference to us. And we're also going to take some tracking as well. So this is going to be our spotter, tracker, and engineer. A bit of a weird combination, I know, but they are all intelligence skills, so it shouldn't really make too much difference. Anyway, that extra point we're just going to give to Constitution. I very much hope that the recovery time from various things, recover health on the map faster, I'm hopeful that that is actually going to make a big difference to these companions, because if they don't, then, well, it's kind of wasted points, isn't it? Anyway, let's see what Anton's doing here. Okay, so we know that he obviously wants to go for agility so that he can spec more into firearms, and I guess I'll just spec him into Constitution as well, just to make sure that they are all fighting fit as much as possible. Even though we do already have 3 in wound treatment, it might make sense to have a little bit of an extra buffer for their health. Otherwise, what am I going to do? Yes, I have no idea what I'm going to do. I guess I could go for 9 agility, which would make a little bit of sense, because I would be able to get another point in either Weapon Master or Athletics, or I could just go down the somewhat not really boring route, but kind of, and I could just go an additional point in Trainer skill. Actually, maybe we should just do another 2 points in Trainer, because we are about to level our Surgery and Pathfinding, maybe our Pathfinding and Magic actually, to the next level once we reach level 20. So maybe we'll be able to do that. Otherwise, let's just go for a little bit of points in firearms, and otherwise, there you go. We're actually pretty good with all of our forces here, and yeah, there you go. We've completed the quest set by our Marshal, and Katashi has actually leveled up to level 2 as well. So let's have a look and see what is he going to do again? He's going to do looting, isn't he? So let's go for a little bit in agility. Let's get an additional point in looting, and the next level, I think we're probably going to level up his Weapon Master. Alright, so I'm actually attempting to raid this village right now, mainly because a number of you in the comments decided that maybe it would be a good idea to do that, because you don't lose honor or anything like that for raiding. You do lose a little bit of relation with the village themselves, but just bear in mind, we are obviously playing as a high elf. It's highly unlikely that we are ever going to be recruiting beastmen from this village, and so let's take a look and see what we're actually gaining here. Bear in mind, our extra points in inventory management are going to come in mighty handy, and Percy is going to be very pleased to gain some strong wine. Well, technically this wine is not really going to be drunk by anyone. Sorry to disappoint you, Percy, but you should have seen the look on his face. You should have seen the look on his face. He was just forlorn, absolutely forlorn with disappointment right there. Anyway, let's just take as much iron as we can get our hands on, some wool as well, and maybe we should get a little bit of bread, and maybe some grapes and olives too, just to give us a small morale boost. There we go. Alright, now we do actually have someone right here next to us, the Dragon Prince of Calador, and he is doing a fantastic job of helping us out, basically. Alright, so I don't know about this cattle, basically just going to leave them alone, I think. And yeah, that was pretty successful, I should think. I mean, hopefully it is going to be successful once we get back and sell our ill-gotten gains. You know, I realize now that what I should have done was equip my pistol when I was in that siege, but I forgot, and that's probably going to be a pretty common occurrence, so I do apologize if that's annoying, but I do have pretty bad memory when it comes to that kind of thing, so hopefully I'll remember that we do have a firearm. I think as time goes on, I'm going to remember more and more, and it's just a thing that I've never really done in the past, and so it's going to be one of those times when I might be a little bit forgetful. But anyway, we're going to be making a huge amount of money right here. And I'm actually kind of lucky that no one seems to be upset about raiding that village, because usually companions are not particularly happy about that. It really depends, obviously, on the companion. But actually, maybe I've disabled that. Oh, it seems like you can't use healing potions in a siege. Ah, well, I can kind of expect that, I suppose, considering it's kind of a balance issue. Anyway, there you go, 7,600 gold. I think someone actually said that they raided a village and they gained about 20,000 gold. Let me know where that village was. Let me know, because that's crazy. That is an amazing amount of money. All right. Otherwise, let's go into the tavern. This is actually a town that we've never been in, so we get to see a nice, unique tavern right here as well. And, Ishii is here. Hello there. Alright, so we are going to be, yeah, we'll definitely be taking her, why not? That's just 100, very, very cheap indeed. And, this guy's not going to be 100, I am pretty sure. He's wearing some pretty good armor. Let's have a look. The king made me his greatest champion and gave me a time of leave to pray and to see my family, but sooner than I expected, I was called back. The king called for a crusade against Araby and the Tomb Kings. Both have been gaining in power over the years, and he fears that if one gets too powerful, then they will invade. We are preempting this by striking first. The crusade has been on and off, though, as fighting there has been harder than we thought. We have made more enemies than we figured, and our resources and campaign plans have had to be cancelled and rethought. Well, I'm pretty sure this guy's going to be at least 10,000. Let's see if he's at least 10,000. He is 8,000. Yes, I do not have enough for that, but I'm actually wondering whether he's any good. Have any of you recruited this fellow? If you have in your own games, then by all means let me know in the comments, and let me know if he's worth the 8,000, because I obviously have no idea about his stats. Anyway, we now have a new companion, which is great, and what we're going to do first is I'm just going to very quickly go into the arms merchant here, because I'd like to be able to maybe purchase a little bit of ammunition. So let me have a look. Oh, it seems like they don't have any? Well, elves. They are elves. I'm not remembering that they're elves, so obviously they're not going to have ammunition, but they do have pirate pistols, which is a bit weird, but oh well, never mind. Okay. So I'm thinking we're actually pretty good right here. Maybe, yeah. Okay, what we are going to need to do is we're going to need to get another weavery and dye works in this area. It's only 1,400. It's actually only 1,400 in this area. What about an ironworks then? That's still about 800. What about an oil press? 900. Wine press? 900. Oh, okay. Wow, the wine press is actually pretty good value for money. It's only 5,000, and it gives you 900 per week, which is pretty amazing. And it seems like nothing else is about the same. So it seems like a weaver and dye works is going to be the thing once again. And I'm perfectly happy with that. I don't mind. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to maybe peruse a little bit. We're going to go around and we're going to see if I can maybe find another village to raid. Alright, so get this. Yeah, I actually do have a companion that has a huge amount of spotting skill and a huge amount of trade skill as well. And this makes me kind of sad, to be honest, because I was unaware that he actually had these amazing stats. And he even has 3 in riding, 3 in athletics, 3 in power draw. He is an absolute gold mine. Value for money abound here, because I think wasn't he about 800? I think he was about 800 to recruit, and yeah, you can see he's only level 4. He's only level 4, and he's absolutely amazing stat-wise. So I'm pretty happy with what we were able to get here. But the main problem is I've already started speccing someone for spotting, but I suppose I could continue to spec him for spotting, but that would mean that I have to focus on intelligence even further, and I don't really want to do that. So what I'm going to do instead is I'm going to turn him into some kind of amazing horse archer, because as you can no doubt see from his proficiencies, his archery is crazy good, 140, and everything else is 0. So yeah, we're going to need to get him a bow pretty quickly, and that means I will have to go over to the elf towns once again and see what I can do about that, because I just thought to myself, yeah, maybe I should take a look at my party, and then I was like, what? This guy has 4 in spotting. Oh no. Yeah, well, anyway, Liss does have 3 in tracking and 3 in engineer, and I am going to be making Liss into our spotter as well, and maybe Abdul can be just a little bit of a backup, perhaps, and obviously him being a horse archer is going to be very useful indeed as time goes on. Anyway, we do have a looted village here already. There's actually a huge amount of looted villages. The only place that is not looted is Feral Pit. I'm a bit worried about doing this, to be honest, because I don't have my ship here. Basically, I would recommend every single time someone is going to take some kind of offensive action against an enemy faction, and this is definitely something that I wouldn't recommend doing it without a ship. I would recommend doing it 100% with some way of escaping. And so, actually, you know what? I'm going to fight this patrol real quick, because this patrol has a huge amount of wonderful prisoners for us, and I would like to be able to rescue them as quickly as possible. Okay, so hopefully I will be able to use my courage spell. Let me do that. Yes, all allied troops have courage augmented. Yes, there we go. Okay, so this is literally just a morale boost. I just want to make sure that none of my people decide to run away. It's highly unlikely that they would run away at this point, because we haven't lost anyone. You know, we haven't lost anyone. Everyone's still alive, and we are seemingly going to do a pretty fine job here. Whoa, 71. 71 damage with that overhead. Wow. Okay, that was pretty good, Percy. You can just imagine his face right now. He's just very, very proud of himself, you know, considering the amazing amount of damage he was able to inflict there. And otherwise, we're going to be moving our person, yes, I mean people around here, yes. And we're going to see if I can maybe do a little bit of damage with our infantry here as well. Okay, that was a bit weird. Oh well. Oh, whoa, is that a special unit of some kind? I don't think I've ever seen that unit before, but Hikaru has leveled to level 2. Very nice. Okay, so that was a very, very small victory, of course, but one that I think will be paying us off pretty nicely. As you can see right there, Swordmast, White Lions, Phoenix Guards, and then of course we do have Chaos Zealots, which are not exactly great. Do they actually level up into anything? They don't level up into anything, so I think you can probably all forgive me if I do not take the Chaos Zealots, because even though they do give me numbers, they are still going to be taking weekly wages, and even though I'm currently already paying a huge amount out of my pocket, it is still something I don't really want to do, so I'm just going to do that. Otherwise, let's have a look. Anything else here that I want to take? Actually, all of this stuff is complete junk, so I really don't want to take it, but I'm going to take it just for the sake of it. And if I do have to swap some out when we have raided this village... Oh no, it's already being raided by that guy. He would have gotten there first, wouldn't he? Oh, well, that's spoiling a lot of our fun, isn't it, Percy? And he's just like, yes, of course it is. You got here too late. Yeah, he says to me that, obviously. Anyway, let's have a look at what Ishii can do. Wound treatment, trade, power draw. Okay, seems like an archer to me, so I'm going to go for a little bit more strength here. A little bit more strength and a little bit more power draw as well. And Hikaru will probably be doing something a little bit similar, but will instead be a power strike user. As you can see, nothing else really to speak of here that is exceptional. So we're just going to be going for a standard warrior archetype. And who knows, maybe we'll be able to maybe make some of them vassals at a later point as well. And so we need to kind of think about that. But obviously at the moment, that's a little bit early, I would say. Anyway, let's see if I can actually... Can I get across here? Okay, I'm actually wondering how people get across from the Kingdom of Araby to get over here. Oh my... Did I just see something? Yes, I did. I saw an amazing patrol that we can scavenge some wonderful recruits from. This is going to be very, very good indeed. And we just need to be a bit careful because obviously Beastmen, even though you may underestimate them because you think to yourself, oh, they've got very primitive armor on. You know, their towns are very primitive too, and so on and so forth. No, they're very, very good at what they do. I mean, I've played a Beastman in the past, and he was very powerful. Especially speccing into strength. You know, anytime you spec into strength like that, you're going to get a really, really strong character, especially considering the armor and the weapons they use are so visceral looking as well. Pretty cool. And, oh, is this guy literally on the enemy side? That was a Knight of the Blazing Sun? What is a Knight of the Blazing Sun doing on a Beastman team? Wow. Alright. It's like I'm speaking about Blood Bowl, because, you know, Beastman team. So on and so forth. Oh, well, never mind. Okay, so let's see if I can take out someone, get a little bit of experience. I would like to get to level 20, of course, because that is going to make things much, much easier in regards to our surgery skill and leveling up our intelligence and so on. And otherwise, maybe, yeah. Oh, nice. We actually got the kill on that Wargore. There's a Skaven. Bear in mind, Skaven are extremely fast, and they are going to be very agile as well, so they have a huge amount of dodge. And there you go. Easy enough. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm actually just going to switch to my... Yeah, there we go. Did you see that? Those troops literally just revived. They just revived out of nowhere. That is an amazingly powerful spell. And seeing that happen just before our very eyes is absolutely amazing in my opinion. Anyway, there you go. There is about 40 killed there, and we are now going to be taking even more high elf units. And this is exactly the reason also why I decided not to take any more of those Chaos Zealots, because they're obviously going to be taking a huge amount of space up, and that's not going to be too good for us. So there you go. We've taken all those guys. We have 95 out of 97. My weekly cost is insane, and so hopefully we will be able to find some much needed village of some kind. Yeah, I don't think that's going to be the case. Wait a minute, are we at war against Skaven? No, we're not at war against Skaven, and the other villages are around the side there. So technically what I could do is I could go around, and I could go to the Hall of Rage. That does not sound like a very good village to go to. Probably going to get absolutely murdered over there, but we'll see, who knows. And otherwise, oh yes, what I would like to do is maybe give Hikaru some different weapon, because he currently has a weapon that is decent, don't get me wrong. It's got, you know, decent speed rating. Its damage is not that great. Its weapon reach is not that great. And I was thinking maybe I should just give him this, because it is much better. I mean, you can see that quite clearly that it is much better. It has 32 cutting, 100 weapon reach instead of 50. That doubles his weapon reach, which is really nice. And I think that's pretty good. And let's see, does anyone else need a weapon? I don't think so. What about Katashi? What's he using? He's just using a regular sword. I think that's fine for him to use. And Abdul is going to need is obviously going to need a bow. He really is going to need that bow. And Ishi's actually using a polar arm. This spear is actually pretty good, but I am going to give her this sword because I think that a sword is probably going to be a little bit easier for the AI to use, and so that's what I'm going to do there. Otherwise, is there anyone else? No, I don't think there's anyone else that I need to kit out at the moment. Alright, that's great. So let's continue onward. And I would like to go to the Hall of Rage, if at all possible. We do need to be a bit careful here. I am without my ship, do remember that, but hopefully, if I am chased by anyone, I will be able to return to the friendly town of Skavenblight. I'm kind of amazed that it is actually friendly at the moment. It's pretty good. And let's see if I can actually get around here. Maybe it's going to be... Oh, no, there is a bridge. That's fantastic. Oh, there's a Priot. Yes, I was going to say Priot. Anyway, Pirate Press Gang. And we do have a Beast Lord party here. They're running from me? Why are they running from me? I have no idea. I mean, they shouldn't be, that's for sure. Yeah, they apparently are running from me. That is kind of crazy. Okay, well, let's just move on. I don't really want to engage them, but maybe they're going to tell people that I'm actually here. It seems like we are going to get our way in regards to raiding this village, and I'm very surprised. Very, very surprised indeed, because there was a lord very close by to us. It was the fellow that was a bit afraid of engaging us. I don't blame him. You know, I don't blame him. You know, if you're up against a party with much, much larger forces, then obviously you're going to have a bit of a, you know, a bit of a crisis on your hands. And yeah, we're going to swap out a little bit of the loot that we just gained, and you can see here that we are gaining insane amounts. Exquisite wool cloth. That is crazy good. We've got some fine salt here as well, which is also going to sell for a large amount. And let's see, fine fruit. I'm just going to take a huge amount of food here as well, because obviously our forces are going to quite quickly eat through most of my food. But obviously, thanks to Warsword Conquest having a much larger stack of food, you know, so cabbages are 80 instead of 40, I think, in the native base game, then it makes it a lot easier for us. Otherwise, I guess I'll just take some of that cheap dried meat, and otherwise we're done. Very nice indeed. Okay, so let us continue onward, and we are going to head back to the High Elf territory. Alright, so we've made it back to High Elf territory, and there were no complications whatsoever, so I'm actually pretty surprised, because there were a few lords, and Gorespite, by the way, has been taken back from the High Elves by the Beastmen. I'm not entirely sure what the High Elves are doing. Their defense is not exactly great, but I suppose I can't really say anything, considering I'm not really contributing that much to the defense anyway. So let's see what I can do here. Well-made dried meat, gonna sell that. Gonna sell the... I'm gonna sell the fine ale, I think. I already have some cheap ale. Yes, I'm sorry, men. They're not gonna be too pleased about that. They're just like, well, they're not dwarves, so I suppose they don't need ale, you know. But it always helps, I suppose, if it tastes a little bit better, but otherwise... Exquisite wool cloth, 3,200. Oh, yes. Give me that. And is there anything else? A fine date fruit. I guess I can sell that as well. Fine fruit here. Yeah, I guess I can sell that. Anything fine, I'm basically going to sell, because I think that probably makes more sense than me eating it. Look at that. Look at that honey. And the butter. Wow. That's crazy. Look at that. We just got 8,500 just from selling those few food items at the end there, because otherwise we would have made, what, 6,000 something? So that's pretty amazing. And that means I will be able to purchase another Weavery and Dye Works, which is exactly what I'm going to do. 1500, it's not obviously as good as the previous one, but it's good enough for me. You know, just to give us a little bit of extra buffer for our wages, and that makes the most sense to me. Halfling Merchant. This is new. This is actually new because as far as I'm aware, way back in the previous version, I don't think there was a Halfling Merchant. I'm not entirely sure if that's correct, because obviously I didn't visit every single town in the game, but I never saw a Halfling Merchant, and it's really quite cool that this is in the game now, because I think previously it was very difficult to get Halfling armor, so it's really nice to actually see that in there. So if you want to roleplay as a Halfling of some kind, then go for it. I think it's actually kind of interesting to do that, because they have a pretty hard start if you roleplay it correctly, I guess. And yeah, it's gonna be pretty fun too. Anyway, I think that will be it for this episode. Otherwise, I thank you very much for watching, and I will see you next time.